Nelson is still impossible. Nelson is still impossible to come by. Nelson and Galaxy.
Was that like a crop issue though?
Yeah, that's true. Like with Nelson, there's like one farm in New Zealand that makes Nelson, and
it's like,
no, dude. He's like, no, I'm good. He's like, don't you want to make more and make millions of dollars with this hop? And he's like, no, I'm just, I think I'm just gonna hang out, be, a New Zealander, chill. That's like seriously, like that's his like mentality. Like the only person that makes Nelson hops, he's like, nah, I make this much, and nah, I'm good.
Well, fuck that guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, good for him, holding back and all, but it does make it like seriously the single most valuable hop out there
for sure.
And then Galaxy is hard to find just because Galaxy is the hazy hop du jour, and so everyone buys that shit up. But I mean, fucking, you can walk down the street and trip over a fucking box of Citra.
Yeah, for sure. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, man, the flavor on this. I don't know if I like this beer.
Yeah.
It's just too bitter and kind of oh God, what's happening? I feel like I should love this beer and I don't. Like,
yeah, it's not hitting me in the right spots. It's okay. It's okay. Like, but
I wonder what it was bittered with. I think there's something weird about the finish of it. Like it's just like,
it's kind of rough.
It's like I don't know. We mentioned tea, and that's what I get, like a bitter tea kind of earthy thing.
Let's bitter it with Chinook.
It just doesn't vibe well.
Though.
I don't know, man. I'm disappointed.
Idaho 7,
man. This should be great. Like, it's El Segundo and Pizza Port. Like, what's happening?
Ideally, two of the best IPA brewers in California.
Yeah, seriously. Well, you can't win them all. So you guys, I think I want more IPA.
Here's the thing: we have a double, we have a regular India. No, it's Imperial, and here is a oat cream India.
Don't we have a stout too?
And here is a double. These are all doubles, you guys, or Imperials. And here's a stout, Boston stout.
Let's put the stout in the middle for like a to break up the hoppiness.
I was gonna say do it now since like
other half. I
don't know. We're going into the hazy territory.
Or do you want to save it for the end?
I don't care. I really don't care.
Whatever you guys want to do. Let's break out some IPA here. What do we got for IPA?
We've got a Cloudwater, High Fashion, which is like some dude with socks and Birkenstocks.
Trillium, right? I believe.
Cloudwater?
Yeah, that's a Trillium. Trillium and Cloudwater, right?
Yeah.
Let me see. Give me.
It's got both.
One of them has a label on the bottom that says it's their first collaboration. I think it might. It's a green or a purple Post-it note.
Paul's chuffed.
Yep, first ever collab.
Nice.
Which one is that, Greg?
This is Other Half in Sand City.
Okay,
so it must be Sand City because we're gonna do. This is the double. What's the regular? What's the lowest ABV?
8.7
that we have. This is 9.
We have 8.
8. Okay.
And 8. 6. Sorry.
6. Let's do the 6er. All right.
It is.
That's a good place to start.
This is the oat cream.
6. Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
Oh my God. This pours like yellowish milk.
Yeah, it does. Look at that. Wow. This is Space Dream from Other Half. God damn it, I love Other Half's labels. It's so good looking.
You saw those Teku glasses I sent you that they posted on Instagram?
Yep.
Man.
Like whoever is their art director just kicks ass.
Yep.
They have this really great ability to do simple and elegant, yet still like attractive to the eye.
Modern.
And it complements the can.
Very super duper modern. Yeah.
Complements the can very nicely. This beer, it kind of looks like a Boston cream pie.
Oh boy, that nose.
Can beer get any lighter? Like this is just straight up. It's almost.
It's like oats.
Yeah, it's so
oat water,
light yellow. It's white almost.
Yeah, I mean it looks like a wit beer, right? That nose though, you guys, it's like this is lemon meringue pie in my nose. It smells like lemon meringue pie all over my nose, you guys.
We got haze. That's our haze bell.
I got a fever.
Haze confirmed.
Haze bell.
The only prescription.
Somebody sent us a bell.
It's more hazy beer.
Like,
what else did somebody say? You got a box or something? What the fuck was?
Like randomly, someone sent us Listerine breath strips.
Okay,
like the kind like you'd buy for your store, so you could put them on the counter. It even says on there like you should put these by the register so people can buy them. I don't know why. It was just addressed to 4 brewers sent through Amazon.
Take some to go.
You can.
Okay. Cool.
We've got a box.
Thanks, whoever sent that.
I don't know why. I don't know if you're. It's a joke that we don't get, or you're being a dick.
I mean, I get drunk enough to order Listerine off the internet, but
do you?
I don't know. That was just a Patton Oswalt joke.
Oh, I don't know that joke.
Yeah, was it? I don't. Was it a reference to something? It might have been a reference to something we said, like, "Oh, I love those strips." Or at some point, someone said it may have been a cure for my diacetyl mouth.
Yeah, someone said
forgot to put
someone said that too. Yeah,
because I posted on Snapchat or on Instagram stories, and someone responded, "Yeah, it's a cure for D mouth," and I'm like, okay, did you send them? Like, that's what I thought. So I don't think we ever talked about Listerine strips on the show.
Never.
But if they are a cure for diacetyl mouth, like, okay, like they're gonna wipe your palate clean of anything. Like they'll burn everything off, and you'll just have like mint on your. Like I would never.
That's the idea.
I would never like use those between beers though, because you're gonna get lingering. Like,
well, yeah, it was obviously a gag, like no matter what. But like,
I want to know the reference.
Yeah, it's a mystery, and we want to know.
So
like,
just send them random things on Amazon, you guys.
Yeah,
just send them.
Lemon meringue pie.
Lemon meringue pie.
And it looks like a lemon.
Wow.
Wow. What a world.
Wow.
That's so good.
What a world we live in.
It's like cloudy. Yet soft.
It's very pillowy.
Oh wow.
A little bit gritty.
Ooh.
Nice and happy. Are they adding like lactose to these beers?
I would assume so, considering it said it was a cream something.
I mean, typically they say on the can, but I mean,
it's just like it's a given.
Oat cream India Pale Ale.
Oat cream.
So maybe, yeah, I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, they don't say.
Well,
Brooklyn, fucking New York, man.
Yeah.
Who'd have thunk it?
So I have friends in Brooklyn, and they're like, "Where should I go and drink beer?"
Yeah, I was gonna say, weren't you asking about Brooklyn?
Yeah, and I ended up just going, just skip the breweries, man, and go to Torst and have a nice day, because
you want to know something, like, ever since I knew about Torst and the restaurant, remember the name of the restaurant?
It's just inside, yeah.
Yeah, the restaurant has another name, but the restaurant won itself a Michelin star.
Yeah,
it was the first Michelin starred beer focused restaurant, which I thought was rad. And then I'm like, oh, Taurus, you look at the place and it looks super cool, and they got rad glassware and a great tap list. But then that fucking guy, like Hepe, the guy who owns the place, the guy is just, I don't like that guy at all.
He hires the coolest dudes ever that work there. So unpretentious and like, hi, welcome to Taurus. Like, even if you don't know beer, they'll walk you through.
Yeah, you've been before, huh? What was your experience like?
It was rad. I mean, I went with like non-beer people, and I was like, just order anything, because I'm sure you're going to find something that's rad.
Yeah.
And we got bar snacks that were like Kipper snack toasts, crisps. It was super rad. But the people that work there, you don't have to name drop or anything. They just treat everybody cool.
That's cool.
That's rad.
That's cool. I don't like that guy at all. But other half is pretty much like the premier Brooklyn brewery. Well, besides Brooklyn Brewery, I suppose.
Yeah, and that's even tough, because you have to get an appointment, and then you do the tour.
Really, they don't have a regular tap room?
No.
Really?
Brooklyn Brewery doesn't have a tap room?
Because they've got the Williamsburg Brewery, which is also, by the way, where they make their fancy stuff. Their regular like Brooklyn lager and shit's made in like South Carolina or something like that.
What the hell's
Upstate
going
New York.
on? Like, you just can't go to Brooklyn Brewery and have a beer?
That
seems weird.
That seems weird in this day and age, doesn't it?
I walked in.
It's like at Anchor, same thing. You can't just go in and have a beer. Yeah.
But didn't they just open like a tap room somewhere?
I don't know.
I'm
when
pretty
I was
sure
there,
they did,
because
I saw it on Laughing Squid, I think. Oh God. I think I saw it on Twitter. Yeah.
Six Point is in Brooklyn.
They
as
do.
well.
I'm pretty sure they have a tap room now. Anchor
All right.
does. So, and it's beautiful apparently for what I saw on Twitter. But
Nice.
For Brooklyn, I had to pull stops with our friend Beer Biddy. If you follow her on Heather Lewis, she's an Instagrammer. She used to work at Green Flash, and then she moved across the country to work at Brooklyn Brewery. But
Yeah,
I was like, hi. Apparently, I need an appointment.
According to
Come on in, get in this tour, and then after the tour, then you get to taste all the things, and then they usher you out after an hour.
Huh. So just taking a quick look, there's Brooklyn Brewery, obviously, and then Greenpoint.
Bob Freeland in the chat is saying that Brooklyn Brewing has a tap room.
War Flag?
He says you can't buy a beer, you can buy wooden chips that you can exchange for beer.
That's correct.
That's even weirder.
That is weirder.
Yeah, they make it really hard.
It's like Chuck E. Cheese. If you want a prize, you got to play the games and get
Which I kind of
tickets.
Oh, Grimm is out there as well.
Yep. One of the things I kind of like about that is treating your tasting room like a tasting room, not like a bar. And when you're in Brooklyn, there's so much around you, and they want to not compete with their local bars out there, like breweries do here.
So are the wooden chips
Yeah,
universal, or are they just for Brooklyn Brewery?
Just for Brooklyn Beer, yeah.
What's the fucking difference?
Yeah, that's interesting. You know, like
I gotta buy a thing to get.
You don't get pints. You get little
taste. So this is just taster.
This is just pissing me off.
Yes,
I want
I've
a
always
fucking pint.
I've always had this like interest.
Go down the street to the bar.
Okay.
Yeah. See, I've always had this kind of weird, like, personal conflict with the idea of a brewery tasting room versus a bar, because I've always kind of come from the position that a brewery tasting room is pretty much just a bar. You know, like children in breweries have always kind of freaked me out. You know, I mean, if it's a pub, like a brew pub, that's one thing, because you're going to a restaurant, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to a
and
brewery.
they have a kids menu.
Yeah, they'll have a kids menu. But I mean, bringing your children to a place where you are going to drink, that's weird. It like weirds me out.
Don't
but
do
then
it.
again, like, you know, brewery owners will try to be like, oh, but this is like, you know, a family oriented place, and so we have like a kids area or games and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but you're still coming here specifically for the purpose of consuming alcohol.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
If you're having a beer, getting a growler to go, I don't have a problem with that. But if you're having multiple beers,
and then you're
pints,
and then
when
you're sitting with
kids are
your
there,
and your kids are sitting there like bored, and you are drinking. There's something like super irresponsible about that to me. And so whenever a brewery owner is like, well, we don't want to be thought of as a bar, I'm like, what is the difference? What is the difference between what you're doing and a bar? You know, bars serve hard alcohol, which is somehow different, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, I mean, it's something I've never understood. So,
and you can buy shit to go. Like if you go to a bar, you can't go, let me get a growler of that one beer to go.
True. That's true. So that is a difference, but I don't think that changes the inherent nature of the place while you're there.
I mean, I'll never forget, like, because I have a 10-year-old kid, but when she was like 2 or 3, I'd take her to the brewery and I'd have a beer and get a growler to go. Now she's not coming. She'll sit in the car or something.
Yeah.
There was one time where there was 2 dudes talking about having anal sex next to us at the brewery. I'm like,
yeah,
never bringing my kid inside a brewery ever again.
It's a place
like,
it's a place for adults. You know,
it's an adult atmosphere.
Yeah. So I don't know.
But isn't calling it a tasting room just kind of like skirting the laws? Like
it
saying,
is.
That's getting around. That's getting around laws, exactly.
Yeah,
but
I agree though. It should be. You should, if you're an adult going to a tasting room, you should classify it as a bar. Like
I don't think they should
an
allow
adult.
kids.
You're going to an adult place. Treat it that way and respect it for what it is.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
be
exactly.
responsible.
And
and if you're bringing your kids, that's not responsible. You're being kind of a bad parent.
If I go to a
what
brewery,
the fuck? What is a kid gonna? Even if they have a play area, like, come on.
Yeah, exactly. Like
It's the lamest place to take a kid.
Yeah, I've never brought my kid to a brewery ever. I mean, I brought him when I was working at Packing House. I brought him there once because I had some shit to do in the brewery.
Yeah.
You know, because I had to work. So I was
Yeah.
bringing my kid to work more than anything.
If it was like
You know?
Disneyland or something where you're going there for like a family thing and there happens to be a bar and
Yeah,
you're gonna
they're
say,
having-
okay, we're going to take a 45-minute break while daddy has a couple pints, then okay, because they're gonna take a break too, and then you're going back to Disneyland and having fun. You
Yeah.
know, it's a family thing.
Yep.
Breweries are not family places.
No, they're not. Yeah,
And
so
if I'm working through a flight of beers and maybe jotting down some notes or taking some Instagram photos, and there's a crying kid next to you, like, come on.
oh my
dude.
god,
Like, get out of here.
And I gotta say, this is like the American version of this. Like, as far as like English pubs and all that, like I know they take on a different role over there, where they're like gathering places, and families do go there, and there are probably drinks for kids. And
right?
I mean, they're not as strict, you know, over there. I mean, there's still drinking laws and ages where you have to be a certain
Right.
age, but the whole culture over there is different.
That's
But
the
as
thing,
far
it's-
as American culture goes, a tasting room, that's a place to get pints of beer. And like, this goes back to the Brooklyn thing. Like, that's why it's so weird to us that you can only get a taster with a token that you buy.
Yeah,
Like, it's
exactly.
because that's not what it is anymore. It's,
Yeah.
it's a bar.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
a, yeah,
And
it's a place to go and have drinks with your friends.
I'm not dissing that, because the breweries make a lot of money. Like,
Totally, and that's the other thing. I don't think of it as a negative at
Yeah.
all. I just like it's an adult place. Treat it like an adult.
treat it like it
place.
is, and I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like if you're going wine tasting, what's the difference? Like
Yeah, exactly. You know, winery tasting rooms. You're going there to consume alcohol.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
responsible or no. Even if it's the fact that you're drinking it for the flavor or no, you're still there to consume
Yeah.
alcohol. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
So yeah,
Let's be
Distillery
real
tasting
about
rooms.
this. Like, beer is fun and wine is fun, but alcohol is also very fun, and it feels good to have a buzz and
Yeah.
hang out with your friends, and you need to acknowledge that and not put your kids in danger.
Hey,
So,
let's open one more beer. But then Kyle had an interesting question in the chat.
Okay,
too. What do we want to
8-7.
do next?
There's an 8.
Let's do an 8-er.
8 is great. Oh my god, looking like another lemon meringue pie.
Looking like a hazy. This one is Green Power from Other Half, and yes,
Ring the bell. Hazy.
it's a thing, Matt.
this is because
You're laughing.
Is this a thing now? Oh, it's a thing now. I gotta
it's the
say,
hazy
you know,
bell.
I gotta say, Other Half is just crushing this. Like,
Oh.
other half.
They taught Henry how to make beer. Like, come on,
Yeah,
dude.
well, how to make this
Well, how to
particular
make
kind
hazy
of beer.
IPA,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I always thought of
That was
like
a gross misstatement. They didn't teach Henry how to make beer.
Yeah,
Okay,
so I
first
always-
you take
I'm
this
so
grain,
sorry.
and then you mill it.
okay. I
They
always
gave
thought
him some pointers on how to make hazy
yeah.
IPA.
I always thought of like the big players in the hazy game were Treehouse, Trillium, Monkish. It's Treehouse, Trillium, Monkish, and Other Half, man. Like
Yeah.
that's the big
Those are the
four right
grandfathers.
there for real.
They're Mount
Yep.
Rushmore of haze.
So let's give this a whiff.
Okay.
Yeah, see, this is more like citrus pine. It's not that lemony. It's not quite as bright, you know?
I get big time Meyer lemon. Sweet lemons.
Yeah, like sweeter lemon. Like the other one was like really super bright, intense lemon. I don't know if I get like Meyer quite as much. I get more like tangerine
see that, sure.
type thing.
I don't know. I
you
get kind of like a grassy, earthy kind of thing too on the nose.
Lemongrass, maybe? Nah, I don't get
It's a little green, I'd say.
Hang on one sec. They're saying in the chat there's no video.
That was a while ago.
Now he's saying it again. Oh no, my bad.
Yeah, I fixed that.
fuck the video.
Okay.
Well, doing it live.
Mouth feels nice and fluffy,
Fluffy kind of
not
gritty.
too bitter.
You guys get the grit thing on the mouth?
On
Feel?
this one?
Yeah.
Not
I get some.
really. No,
Swash around, you get that
I have,
Rub your
but
tongue in
not
the back of
really
your
on
teeth.
this one. I don't think.
For me, this is on the taste, very grassy, almost asparagus. I think it's not doing it for me.
Yeah, I can get that a little bit. Yeah, kind of very green tasting.
Very green.
So, which is Green Power, which is what the beer's called.
It's called Green Power.
That's amazing.
Well, there we go.
Nailed it.
Okay, so
Overall, it's fine. It's not the best beer I've had from Other Half, but it's
I wonder how old these are too.
it's a good question. I think they're relatively fresh, aren't they?
1026.
Okay. Very
So
fresh.
yeah, still pretty fucking fresh.
Yeah.
So how does everyone feel about dogs in tasting rooms?
I'm fine with it. Like, As long as your dog's not a dick, it's fine. Like we went to Fall over the weekend,
Right.
and Fall was
Fall Brewing in
North Park, yeah. And
San Diego.
there's at least 6 dogs there, but you would never know it
Yeah.
unless
Yeah.
you're looking around for them. Like those
Yeah.
dogs they're not up, they're not around, they're not begging, they're not barking, they're not.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, "Hey, that's a nice dog," and you know,
Wow.
as long as your dog has that temper for it, then it's fine. You just have to know your animal.
I have a dog, and I've taken her to Packing House. That's the only brewery she's actually been to.
Right.
And she does fine. She's a very people person kind of dog. Like
Yeah,
she wants to smell all the things.
Yeah, she's very like, hey, love me.
Yeah, she just wants attention. Like she's very sensory. Like she wants to see and smell everything.
Yeah.
But there was someone at Packing House at their anniversary party that brought their dogs, 2 little yappy motherfuckers that were just like in Betty's face, basically.
Yeah, and they kind of got into an argument.
Well, Betty had enough.
Yeah.
And, we have a pit bull. She's on the smaller side for a pit bull. Like, she's very lean. She's like almost 50 pounds, if not maybe a pound over. But it looks scary when she attacks dogs. And she's not like trying to kill. She's just, she had enough and she was, reacting.
She was like, hey, fuck off.
So my dog may not be the best example of a dog to take to a brewery because she's still fairly young. She's like 5 or 6 years old and she's still
Right.
full of energy.
Yeah.
Whenever you guys
Yes,
come
she
over
is.
here, like she always gets so excited to
Yep.
see you guys and jumps
Yep.
up and wants all the pets. But the dogs that are more mellow or that are older, yeah, they work great at breweries and it feels more homey. People walk in and like, oh, look at all these cute dogs, and they want to be pet, and the dogs love it. So I don't have a problem with dogs in breweries personally, but you just have to bring the right kind of dog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird because for me, like, my first instinct is to go, ugh, no, because it's a place where you're eating and drinking, So like, but hear me out. But like,
No.
but like, that's because you're not allowed to have dogs like in restaurants.
Yeah.
Right. And so just the visual is kind of the same, tables of people sitting, consuming something and talking, But I honestly don't know how I feel about it because I've never had a personal, like, actual problem with any dog that I've ever run into at a brewery. I'm not a pet owner myself. And so I don't have like an emotional connection with any animals, and so that might have something to do with it because I know that like the closer you are to your dog, the more the easier it is to be like, oh yeah, of course I can hang out with my dog here, like that's not a big deal, So I don't really know how to feel about it, like I don't really know.
I don't know, sanitary point of view or
Well, then that's the thing too. Is like the sanitation thing isn't really that much of an issue. It's not like it is at a restaurant.
don't
At a
have a
restaurant,
health code for it.
at a restaurant it's different.
like Sanctum, like Jason has a dog. Like we were there yesterday doing Pink Bear Corner, and the dog, it's a very mellow pit bull. Like it's a rescue, it's older, but the dog just roams around. He's sniffing around fermenters, looking for stuff, and just hanging out. It's a breed dog. Like it was actually nice having the dog wandering around like that. I don't know why, but it was just cool.
Yeah, brewery cats are a thing
Yeah, well, I
that
was just gonna
have
bring
been
that up.
have been for centuries.
Yeah, isn't that Mongo?
a
Like where
mouser.
Mongo got its name.
Yeah, Mongo was their cat. Mongo is the double IPA from Port Brewing / Lost
Speaking
Abbey.
of mouser cats, like the dog yesterday caught a fucking mouse.
Yeah.
Like we were in the middle of recording and the dog walks in and there's just like this really drippy thing. And Jason's like, holy shit. Like, no. And like, didn't want the dog to eat the mouse because he had like mouse poison outside.
Oh, God.
So it was like, don't eat the fucking mouse. But, he cleaned it up and sanitized everything. But, not that the dog is there to serve a purpose of eating mice, but, it's.
But still, for centuries, that's what animals
That's what
were
they do.
for.
One of my dogs is a rat terrier. She's trained just in her mental thing to be aware of rats and
Taking
hunt
your
them
kids
down.
to a
Oh, so
brewery.
that's what a rat terrier is for? I thought they just looked like rats.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
And also she can tunnel. She can tunnel really well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kids and dogs are two separate things, though.
Yeah,
Like, I mean,
Bob.
obviously.
Sure. Well, it's just an interesting question because Kyle brought it up. Bob, our homie Bob Vreeland up in the chat says, "I'd rather have dogs than shitty people who can't hold their booze and puke and pee everywhere."
Sometimes dogs pee too.
The other thing I'll say with dogs is if your dog is shedding, maybe leave them at home. Like,
Yeah.
if they're gonna shed all over the place.
Having worked at a brewery
nice.
where I've had to sweep up dog hair because there was
So
an
gross.
asshole owner who brought his shedding fucking dog into the brewery like every other day.
Yeah.
And we had to sweep up his fucking hair all the time.
get
Fuck,
outta here, dude.
fuck that guy. But also, it should be noted that that guy was a piece of shit in very many ways, not just in his dumbass shedding dog left his shit everywhere.
Don't blame the dog. You know, dogs shed.
Yeah.
I just think the dog has to live with that guy.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Is like, I think I'm just more mad at that guy.
Poor dog.
Yeah. So that beer was decent, but we are now moving on to All Infinity Everything. I love that name.
This is another other half beer, right?
Is that
Yep,
enough?
another other half beer. This is a collaboration with Sand City.
Yep.
8.7% hazy imperial pale ale.
And their first
Imperial India
collaboration
Pale Ale,
is what first ever collab.
First ever collab. I think it might. Is that Sand City's first ever collab?
I don't know, because didn't other half go to Monkey?
Yeah, other halves done many collabs before.
So I'm not sure.
I'm guessing it's Sand City's.
And again, we
first
got these
collab.
from Juan, Patreon supporter, Juan More IPA on the Insta.
Who also just had a photo featured in Beer Paper LA. So a published photographer.
Wow.
Good for him.
So this beer, 8.7%.
Smells. This one smells a lot like the last one, which is great because it smelled real good, but it smells a lot like the last one.
Yeah, this one has that hop schmear where there's can't really pick anything out. It's just kind of nice and pleasantly hoppy.
General creamy
very
citrus. Yeah, very high on the pleasance.
I'd give it 8 out of 10 pleasants.
So
I'm getting a lot of pleasant in this one.
a couple weeks ago on episode 44, we had Sand City on the show. If you don't recall,
I do remember that.
It was.
I remember us not really being all that into it.
Infinity -1 + 2 from Sand
What's
City.
the deal with their Infinity?
I don't know.
This one's Infinity something.
Yeah,
got an
well, I
Infinity
think it's
logo.
part of their logo.
There's just a
and,
thing on
you
there,
know,
apparently.
It's like a Mobius strip of hops.
It says Infinity Everything, all Infinity Everything, all Infinity Everything,
Yeah,
all Infinity.
all Infinity Everything is the name of the beer,
could
which
keep
I love the
going.
name. I love the name.
All right, and it is hazy, John.
I love the bell.
I think Jason's going to be real sad that he missed out on the bell.
Well,
You guys.
oh, this tastes good. That
This
is juicy.
Yeah,
That's
this is
savory.
fucking juicy.
Yeah. Yep.
Man,
This is like Tropicana juice straight up from the grocery store. The Donald Duck orange juice of beers.
this is good.
Donald
Pulp.
Duck orange juice.
There's probably pulp in it.
Oh, it's the first ever collab between Sand City and Other Half, is what it is.
Do you think pulp will be a thing in the next round of IPAs? Like with pulp, without pulp?
Like
Just
Pulp
put some oats
Fiction?
in it. I'm just gonna like put some oats in the bottom, like boba.
You're gonna have an option of it's
Pulp,
one's,
no pulp.
one's gonna be no pulp, one's gonna be light pulp plus vitamin C.
Be amazing. Just put some fucking vitamin C in these beers, guys.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, this is straight up juice. This is good.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely the one that you want to drink if you're fighting off a cold.
Yeah, it's almost healthy. You're getting your fibers, you're getting your oats. Wowzers.
I'm still mad about the celebration thing, you guys.
What?
The hop thing. Like, it's
still
fresh
mad about
hopped.
that?
It's not wet hopped. It's fresh hopped. Fucking A.
Do you think this one's fresh hopped?
No, I did no. Honestly, I just like that just came up on my browser window, and so I'm still mad about it.
All right, let's take a breather. I'm so tired today. I drove 2.5 hours it took me to get to Temecula. And then I drove home last night, crashed out, woke up and drove here.
What were you doing in Temecula?
It was my mother-in-law's birthday.
Oh, right on.
Spent the day out there and ate lots of good food. Got some Mason Aleworks beers.
What was that?
Good stuff, man.
Yeah, I've been kind of hit or miss on their stuff.
Yeah.
Like some of it's been real great. Some of it, I've never had anything that's like
The IPA
bad
was just
from
okay.
them. But
Yeah.
Some of it's been like, considering the pedigree of this place, I expected a lot better. Kind of like the World Burl. Like, come on, you guys.
Cash is pretty good. They're stout.
Oh, yeah?
Canned stout.
Right on.
I love canned stouts.
Yeah, I like canned Saison is still weird to me.
Yeah.
And canned sour beer.
Canned Berliners, maybe.
Well,
Goza.
I mean, I don't know. Like, the thing about Berliner is, like, Berliner is American, right? Like, Berliner Weiss, there's some actual Berliner Weisses in Germany, but at this point, Berliner Weiss is American.
For sure.
You know? And so, like, Americanized styles like that, I can totally get being in cans.
Puree Berliners, man.
Yeah, totally. But, like, Saison, although, I mean, let's be real, too. Like, Saison, there's, like, kind of two different Saison, three, really. There's kind of three different Saison schools where there's the, let's take some Pilsner malt and some 3711 and maybe some
Solid
noble
sugar,
hops, but probably some American hops. That's our Saison, right? That's like one school. Then there's the, let's take maybe a different kind of Saison yeast and like, let's put it in a barrel and sour it. And we're essentially making a sour beer, but it's a Saison, right? And then there's the third school who are like the old school Fantôme style traditionalists, the guys like, Saint Somewhere, like the Heirloom guys, was it like the Fifth and Main or whatever, Jester King, the guys who are doing like, no, this is a much wilder type beer. And so that's like, that's kind of a different school. Like the first ones, I could totally see that being in a can because it's still just a fucking American beer.
Sure. I'm fine with
but
that.
like that last group, that's the ones that if it's not like, bottle conditioned in a green bottle, there's just something not right about it. Yeah.
Green can it.
Yeah, exactly.
Put it in a green plastic bottle.
Green can it.
Green plastic bottle, like a 7-Up bottle. Or
Oh,
Squirt.
God.
Delicious.
So, fucking another half is still crushing, man.
Dude, all these beers, like, kind of all taste the same to me, but with minor differences. I mean, they're all good. They're all great. But I don't know. I just want some more differentiation between them.
Yeah, that's the tough thing with these, and it's the smearing effect, man. We've talked about it before. It's just it's so easy for all of these to kind of meld together, and the subtleties are so hard to pull out.
Yeah.
This beer's great, though. I am a fan of the
I think it's delicious for sure.
Yeah, this is the winner, I think, so far of the show. So
8.7, baby.
Yeah.
Woo. That was yummy.
What's up
we've
next?
got 2 beers left. We have a stout, which is, do you want to throw that in and
we're gonna
finish
do that.
hoppy?
We're gonna do that last.
Yeah, let's do the stout last. Let's
Yeah.
let's
All right.
knock out the last hoppy beer that we got here,
Dude,
which is
I love this label, High Fashion from Trillium and Cloudwater. It's got the Birkenstocks with socks,
Birkenstocks with socks.
and it's kind of a cool metallic copper skin to it. Again,
Have
course,
we-
cloudy AF.
Have we had Cloudwater on the show before? I'm not familiar with them. It's not ringing any bells.
I don't believe we have.
I've never heard of them, so I don't know.
I don't think so. I'll check on the website.
And what a good hazy name, brewery name.
Yeah, seriously, Cloudwater for sure.
It's a little bit hazy and
Like what is it? Cloudwater.
Cloud.
I'm just gonna name my IPA Cloudwater. Well, it looks like they've got a super dope looking premier stainless brew house. Go to their website and that's the first thing that comes up. What do they got for beers here? About very sparse website.
Yeah, they're like, we have a brew house.
They yes, they do. They definitely do.
So the head on this is very, I don't know. The last 4 beers have been like these tight knit bubbles.
Oh, they're
This is-
British.
Oh, okay. This is a very it's not rough bubbles. It's just not.
It's pretty rocky.
Yeah, it's not like as soft, I would say.
Yeah, it looks like a bubble bath.
Yeah, it does.
Still a kind of like super hazy, like banana cream pie looking.
This
What do you smell?
Cat piss.
Yeah,
Smells a little catty.
It smells catty. It smells danky.
a little green.
A little bit green. It's not really citrusy at all, which is I almost like I'd say a plus.
Yeah, as opposed to the last 2 or 3, they've been pretty lemon balmy.
Yeah.
It's more like Stoneford-y.
Cloudwater
for me.
also is in Manchester, and they don't have anywhere on their website talking about the beers that they make. We're Cloudwater Brew Co., and we specialize in modern seasonal beer.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's a good thing to specialize in.
Seriously. A lot of launch 2 collaboration beers. They said they did collaborations with the Vale Brewing, which is another hotness brewery right now.
The Veil, huh?
Yeah, where's the Veil from? I don't think I've had any beers from the
Never heard
Veil.
of them either.
I've heard of them, but I've never had their beer.
I know of the Vale because they've done a bunch of collabs. Like they did a collab with Monkish just recently.
Who hasn't Henry collabed with?
Me.
There's your answer.
That motherfucker.
God, Henry,
Waiting.
when are we going to collab, bro?
Fucking waiting, man.
I just want the no IPA sign, to be honest.
Yeah, seriously.
We've hit him up, and at first he agreed.
We kind of begged.
And then he thought about it, and he's like, maybe not. One day we'll have that sign.
Mm-hmm.
Just dress up all in black and sneak in.
So yeah, I mean, this isn't really tropical or fruity on the nose for me. It's kind of a mellow dankiness, I guess you could say.
Simcoe. A lot of Simcoe.
The cat piss thing is like
It's
pretty
real.
prominent too, yeah. But
It's really dry. It's kind of
Kind
bitter.
of liquidy.
It's a fine flavor descriptor.
Very watery. I don't think it needs some body to it. It's just kind of like,
Yeah, it's kind of dry and tannic. Honestly, this one kind of shows a lot of the flaws that we don't like in a lot of these beers.
yeah, this style is
It's kind of
man.
astringent.
Like, I don't know if you saw in the chat, me and Jason are brewing a beer with Derek over at Brew Kaipo.
yeah,
A hazy IPA,
sweet.
Yeah.
and I'm nervous. It's a full batch too, so it's like, well,
If it
I-
sucks,
I am
You
not an
name is on
expert.
it.
Use a lot of calcium chloride.
We'll see. Because I mean, talking to other brewers, or like when Daniel Katie was on like this week's show, Mikkeller doesn't use a lot of calcium chloride in their beers. Like they add a little bit, like for the body, but
What's their water like?
they said it's super soft.
Yeah, there you go. That's why.
But they also said it has a lot of sulfate at the same time. So when you're looking for that like mouthfeel, like, or when you're looking for like combating like the harsh bitterness, like you want to, that's why you add chloride. That's why you would add sulfate to a West Coast IPA to bring out that bitterness.
Right.
Or at least the bite. So
And see, this kind
while
of
they said they have soft water, he also said that their sulfate is kind of high, and that's why I was like, well, aren't you gonna like outbalance that like 2 or 3 times? And he made it sound like that they don't.
well,
So,
and see,
I don't know.
here's my thing. Like one thing that Palmer always talks about is that it isn't the quantity,
It's the balance.
it's the ratio.
I get it.
Which I don't agree with.
because
Because here's the thing is like if you like let's say your sulfate to chloride ratio is 1 to 10, right? So let's assume that means that you have, just for argument's sake, 1 ppm of sulfate versus 10 ppm of chloride.
Okay.
If you have 100 ppm of sulfate versus 1000 ppm of chloride, those are going to taste different, right?
yeah, but that's an extreme.
That is an extreme example, but it still illustrates the point.
I think he's looking.
So if you
more
have
in, like,
if you have really really soft water, if your sulfate percentage of your TDS is really high, it still might not make that much of an impact if you have the same ratio of sulfate in really hard water.
okay. And that's
You know
where
what
it
I mean?
comes down to experimenting with your water and
Yeah,
your
exactly.
brewing process.
Exactly.
And that's why when I asked Daniel about it, I I learned, I guess, because he's like, yeah, we had a little bit, but not a whole lot.
It's a great Hello Kitty impression.
Oh, yeah,
It's
totally.
like, all right, well,
Yeah.
answers that question. So as far as our thing we're doing with Brew Kaipa, I mean, I don't know what to do. I've never had their water. I trust Derek as the brewer to tell me what their water is like, and he knows how it works with their beers. So we'll see. All I do know is that we're doing lots of two-row and lots of oats and unmalted wheat. So,
Sounds good.
Yeah, and he's got some good hops. I think
Make
we're doing
it nice
some,
and turbid, bro.
I have to look again, but I think there's some mosaic in there and there's some good stuff in there. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know if we're going to do all like primary fermentation hops or do some in Whirlpool. And I think Derek would prefer to do some in Whirlpool just to feel safe,
Yeah, I think honestly, like it seems to me like a quarter to half pound per barrel of a Whirlpool edition, depending on the AA of your hops, is really as much as you want to go.
Yeah.
And then doing a primary fermentation dry hop and then a post fermentation dry hop, like that's
we've got the green bill worked out, but the hop schedule is still kind of up in the air right now.
Right.
We got to work that out this week. But it should be fun. Hopefully, it doesn't turn out like shit. I'm expecting. I'm not expecting the best hazy IPA in the world, but I'm expecting like a West Coast interpretation at best. So,
dude, according to the current Ukaipa Valley Water District report, the chloride ratio is actually higher. It's almost 2-1.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's good.
It's almost 2-1. And then where is your total hardness is 121. So, I mean, it's high-ish, but I mean, Riverside water is like 180.
Wow.
So it's hard, but it's not crazy hard. Much like myself.
So yeah, that's what we're doing. So
Nice.
Around
Let us know
I
when it's
guess
out.
Thanksgiving, you can try it. I think.
Cool.
I mean, we're doing it on the 18th, so maybe after Thanksgiving, but
Right on.
December-ish, we'll say. So
But this beer reminds me of a lot of going back to this beer. Reminds me of like Emergency, like those dissolvable
Like emergency.
those like packets of
what a fucking gimmick that was, right?
right.
Those don't
Yeah,
help at all.
seriously.
Fuck no.
Yeah, not
Just take
really.
some B12 and call it a day.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. Anyway, so what's up? A stout is next, right?
It's out. It's a
Have we had any? Have we
What
had
a
any?
glorious change of pace.
Yeah, seriously. have we not had any?
hazy stouts.
No. So as far as like Trillium beer that we've had, have we had anything besides Pale Ale and IPA? I don't know if I've ever had anything from them
I
besides.
mean, we're in
this.
California. Like, if we're gonna get Trillium beers, it's gonna be the hazy stuff. But
It's probably gonna be the haze. Yeah.
getting a stout is a definite treat.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. And I've heard this one is supposed to be great. This is Secret Stairs Boston Stout.
Yep.
Really creamy head on this thing, man. It's pretty dark brown, blackish.
Yeah, I
I
mean
don't
that's
see really
that's,
any highlights pouring through. Maybe
Yeah, that's-
maybe just a hair, but
that's opaque. I mean, even up to the light, it's pretty fucking dark.
a couple fingers ahead on it.
6.5%. So it's actually a little bit on the lighter side. So more of like a export stout strength, I would say.
Yeah, really nice, creamy, chocolatey, like Ovaltine-ish on the nose.
Yeah, really like dark cocoa.
Fruity too.
Yeah,
Real nice
raisiny.
fruity.
Like raisin fig for
God,
sure.
After all those IPAs, man, I can pick
so
apart a stout.
it's so
Like,
refreshing.
oh my god, I smell some
It's
roast.
so
It's got the
refreshing.
chocolate. I got a
It's like, you know how when you're smelling like cologne or perfume or whatever, they have coffee beans to like, you know, cleanse
Reset
your palate, reset your palate. I
Yeah.
feel like that's what this is. You know, this is totally resetting our palates.
real nice roast character. The roast malt on the finish.
So I think what you're saying is, whenever we do another hazy IPA, or
A
IPA,
hazeathon?
like, we always have a stout in between.
That's a good idea. Honestly, it really is.
Even if it's just one that's like the persistent palate cleanser, like that might be a good idea.
Yeah. Secret Stairs is our signature Boston Stout, bold and balanced, satisfying with a substantial body, but not syrupy or sweet. Roasted malt provides a nutty, earthy backdrop to bitter cocoa and little hints of caramel.
It's nutty.
Nailed it.
Yep.
It is nutty.
It is nutty, yeah.
Wow.
Smooth mouthfeel with a drying sensation on the finish. We brew Secret Stairs to highlight the unique physical connection between Summer Street and A Street.
Yeah, these guys know how to summarize their beer.
Yeah, they're good,
That's
right?
exactly what it is.
We raise a pint of Secret Stairs to the Fort Pointer, the neighborhood's favorite protagonist.
This is so good.
I love how hyper local they are. You know, they're like, we are a Boston brewery. You know, I like that a lot.
Let's go.
Yeah, fucking dare me. Fucking dare me.
I dare you.
I've been to Boston a few times, and they weren't open yet. So I haven't been since they've been open.
Dang.
Sad.
Yes.
Also has like a bit of a fruity like twinge on the nose, I think.
It must be a yeast character thing.
Yeah, definitely. It's got to be.
It's very British on the nose.
I'm getting the tang.
Roast is kind of lowish, I'd say.
Yeah, it's kind of subdued. It smooths it out. It doesn't have like that like brash roastiness that you can get out of a lot of stouts.
It's got that soft smell, that soft like stouty like savory smell.
It's soft.
None
It's
of this
soft.
makes sense.
It's soft and stouty.
That's just how I perceive it, and I don't
It's like
care what you
sniffing a
guys say.
couch.
What?
It's nice and soft.
Fuck.
It's like sniffing a bed. Beds are soft. It's like a pillow.
Soft and earthy, much like my bed.
It's like sniffing a sheep.
This is like drinking my bed.
Oh no!
Meaning you have dreams about it?
Yeah.
How about it's like smelling a cloud?
It's like sniffing clouds, baby.
I sniff clouds, dog.
That's a good name for a beer. Sniffing clouds.
Yep.
Man, this is
Even
good.
that name too. Dude, this session has been just money for beer names.
Super soft.
And I like that it's still bright too. It's not like a muddled.
It's not
very
heavy. It doesn't
pronounced.
like weigh on you. Yeah.
It's almost cookie-like.
I always like it when there are breweries who are known for a very particular thing and then they do a different thing and it is great. This is great.
I think they're kind of catering to their audience still. Like the hazy IPA is like, mid to low bitterness, super fruity, not intimidating, I guess. It's like fruit juice, anybody can drink fruit juice.
Marmalade?
This is like the same thing but with stout. It's kind of fruity smelling. It's low roast. It's not too bitter. It's kind of fluffy, drinkable.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
It
Yeah,
kind
good
of
call.
mimics their hazy IPA thing.
Do you guys get orange marmalade on the nose? Is that just me?
I think,
or like some kind of like jam,
I said fruity, maybe.
Blackberry jam.
Hmm.
Yeah, it has like a jammy kind of fruitiness to it, and like the longer it sits and like the more it warms up, the more that that fruitiness pops.
Do you guys get any fusel thing on there?
I don't get no.
It's
maybe a little,
just
something, but I had to hunt for it.
It's nothing to.
Yeah,
I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah,
It's-
same.
yeah.
All in all, I think it's quite good.
It's a
All right.
beer. I mean, come on.
Come on, man. Come on, bro.
It's a beer. Fuck
don't
off.
pick it apart.
Perfect.
Don't pick it apart. It's not like we're on a beer show.
No. Touche.
Touche.
Thank you, Juan. Again,
Thanks, Juan.
I won more of these beers.
We're gonna ring the cowbell one more time for Juan because he's an amazing individual. Hazy.
Here's a cowbell.
He's a cowbell.
Hazy!
Your neighbors are like, "What the fuck is happening?"
Like, why do they keep ringing that cowbell?
Hazy.
Hazy Jane. All right, that's enough.
If you want to find Four Brewers online, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, Tumblr. You can find all that information on fourbrewers.com. Go to fourbrewers.com/live if you want to hang out with us while we're taping the show. Go to fourbrewers.com/YouTube to find all of our fluffy, wuffy,
Sticky.
Jizzy wizzy.
Icky. Jizzy.
whizzy, stanky danky,
Frizzy.
nutty,
Fizzy.
nutty,
Funky wonky.
nutty- funky wonky. Yes,
Fuzzy Wuzzy.
was a bear
Content.
content. video. That's where that is. Cheap Beer Corner, Pink Beer Corner, all kinds of fun stuff coming up. That's 4brewers.com/YouTube. Go to where else should people go? Where else should people go?
Apple Podcasts.
Go to Apple
To leave a
Podcasts
review.
or your favorite podcast app.
If you use Overcast, give us a star for our episodes because that does help with the rankings inside of Overcast.
Yeah, it helps people find the show, which we appreciate.
I don't know if Google Play Music does reviews.
I don't know.
For podcasts yet, but if they do that too.
Yeah, that would be helpful. Anytime you can say something positive about us on the internet, it
Review
helps
us
us,
on-
and we appreciate it.
Review
Never
us on
say-
Google Maps.
Never say anything negative about us online.
On iTunes, go to patreon.com/4brewers if you want to donate to the show. You can give us $1 a show, $2 a show, however much you want to contribute. Every little bit helps.
It does,
Go
especially for trips like San Diego and I don't know,
Sacramento.
maybe
Boston.
Washington or Boston one day.
we've
Start
been-
saving for Boston.
We've been talking about maybe going to London for Beavertown.
Beavertown
Something that we
next
I
threw
think
out at
Boston
one
is
point.
more attainable, at
More
this point.
feasible.
Yeah. And it's
You'd
still
be
great.
surprised.
Like Boston would be awesome.
Boston be rad. I've never
San
been.
Francisco. San
Really?
Francisco Beer Week's coming
Yeah.
up. We might be able to do some stuff for San Francisco Beer Week. So
Oh yeah, that
I
sounds
mean,
Oh,
yeah.
maybe we can hook up with the homie Jesse.
Overdue.
And he already has plans for us.
Dope.
I talked to him last night.
Nice. Then in that case, go to, if you want to get in touch with us directly, hit us up at feedback4brewers.com and brew the shit out of it.
I'm gonna go pee the shit out of it.
All right, so this show's going to be weird because the recorder shut off. The stream was good on YouTube the entire time, so I think I just download the audio.
Okay.
But we'll see what happens.
Review 4B on Yelp for a free appetizer.
I'm pretty sure I can make a show out of it, but just know that,
Okay.
just in case.
Something might sound weird.
The batteries died, and I didn't notice until I started the recording, and then I noticed halfway through, like, that was off. So I'm like, did I not turn it on? So I turned it back on, and it just shut off again. So
All right.
we'll see.
No